Get your game sense up. I'm Alex V, your Annoyed Average Gamer. You guys already know me from my YouTube channel, and I'll let my co-host Sebastian introduce himself.
Yeah, guys, my name's Sebastian, and I've always kept up with the gaming news and industry. And with the climate of how the gaming industry is right now, I think it's the perfect time for us to start sharing our thoughts on how everything is going down.
So, get your game sense up means power up your knowledge on the gaming industry. Just like how you would have common knowledge in the real world, you should have a game sense in the gaming world if you're serious about gaming. Sebastian and I would have these discussions all the time, and they get pretty heated, but also a lot of fun. So, we just decided to record them and share with you guys.
All right, guys, in today's episode, we're going to talk about what is going on with BioWare's Anthem. Does it have a future, and what does that look like? And Google Stadia, Google's premier video game streaming service. Alex, please break that down for me.
So Google tells us that with Stadia, we're going to be able to game wherever we want, when we want, new ways to play through YouTube and beyond, up to 4K HDR and 60 FPS, play instantly with no updates, no downloads, just drop right into a game, okay? And it always gets better with Stadia's cloud-based infrastructure that evolves to meet the player demands, developers, and YouTube creators.
But I don't know. It's tricky. It really is like a pipe dream. And sure, Google, the infrastructure and definitely the resources and the money to be able to pull it off. But Google's tried to do a lot of things in their past that they just failed at, like Google Hangouts or like Google Glasses, you know?
I thought you would be like more hyped for this.
I mean, I am hyped.
You never once brought up, Google's other failures and yada yada yada.
I mean, I was saying that to hype up Stadia, you know, hope to be like, oh, hopefully this is the one, you know. I mean, I haven't. Granted, you're right. I've never brought that up to you, but like, I have thought about that. And I was gonna incorporate it with how they want to just jump into the game world. You know, it's very wild for them to do that, and they're doing it with a big project of you can stream games anywhere, which I think could be great. It really changed the landscape of all gaming, and especially to people like us who are console gamers. I've always had a console, and I've had computers. I have played on computers before. I had like DC Universe Online was my first serious MMORPG that was online PC. But I've always been a fan of consoles. My first console was PlayStation 1 way back when. Yeah, you know, I'm the real deal. But I don't know, I just find that it's gonna change how people play games. Like, one of the biggest things that they're very vague about is, like, we don't know, is this a streaming service where we're gonna pay $15 a month to play games, or it'll be a platform such as like another launcher like Steam and the Ubisoft one, Omega, I think it's called, and you know, the EA Play and all that stuff, and the Epic Game Launcher. Like, is it just the launcher and you purchase games normally, or is it going to be like a one-time purchase? You know, like, because they're trying to replace consoles, and the way to do that would make your own console. You know, the same when the phone and hey, we want to replace iPhone's own phone. So like, hey, we want to replace Xbox and PlayStation. So here's our console, but it's just on your computer, and it's on your tablet, and it's on your phone already built in, and you can play it whenever, wherever. Which is pretty cool. I'm really speculating. Like, what do you think? Should they have? Should it be a subscription service, or should it be more like a one-time fee? You know, what do you think?
Well, I think the best way for everybody to be happy, it should just be a one-time fee. Like, you just purchase the service, and then you have all the features that are included. If it's a subscription service, I think it won't do as well. I don't think, even though the technology is very fascinating and stuff, there's so many requirements. Like, your internet has to be really good. You need to have the things to be able to take advantage of the 4K 60 FPS and stuff like that. So I just think that having it be a service adding that cost to buying games and other things that you have to pay. Nah. So I think pretty much having it be a one-time thing would just be the best thing. And yeah.
All right, so like, let's say it's a one-time fee. What would be an appropriate one-time fee? Like, let's say they say, "Hey, we're gonna charge you 100," or what if they even go up to something like $300? You know, what would be an appropriate one-time fee to play games on products you already own? Like, they're Google's assuming you have a phone, you have a computer, you have a tablet, you have a television. What would be an appropriate amount to charge you for a product like this? What do you think?
I think of 150 is good. It would definitely like be the best, so that it can just undercut the current generation of consoles, PCs, and the next generation of consoles. Because we know that it's going to be, because since they're putting a lot more tech in the PS5 and the new, I forget what they call the new Xbox project.
Scarlet or something like that.
Scarlet, yeah. So it's definitely going to be, it would, like, I don't think they're going to be $500 again. I think it might be $7 or $8. So.
Wow, you think the new console will be that expensive?
I mean,
$700?
I mean, from what we heard from PlayStation, they're getting all this new AMD internals, and they're really going for like the latest and greatest, at least for what a console can take. So yeah, they're gonna charge accordingly. So yeah, so if Google came out and be like, hey, you can get this and play everything at high quality for $150 one-time price, that's a steal. Like that would destroy the market. But along with that, they need to have the games. If they don't have the games, then they have nothing.
All right, but so when you say they need to have the games, do you think like they wouldn't have access to like AAA game? Like, hey, we're gonna make only exclusive games. We know for a fact they're having Doom Eternal, I think it is, and they're gonna have Assassin's Creed Odyssey on there. And those are licensed games. You don't think they'll have more licensed games?
They might have more licensed games, but the thing is, because you know that as far as PlayStation is, they like to have their exclusivity, and
of course Stadia would have exclusivity too, but they can't live off of it. Look what happened to the Switch, the Wii. They're like, we only want exclusive. The Nintendo almost went under for that, and now they have the Switch, and they're like, we have all these licensed games, and people are loving the Switch. And granted, the console is good itself.
No,
they
yeah,
have the games.
It just really depends on if PlayStation is going to allow their other IPs to be something to be on Stadia.
Okay, but PlayStation games aren't the only games in the, like, PlayStation has exclusive. You know, there's other games like The Division or Overwatch. Those aren't PlayStation exclusives, and those are really big games. You don't think you can capture those to be put on Stadia?
No, well. Yeah, I guess so. I mean, anything as far if it's on both consoles and on PC, I don't think Stadia would have a problem getting them. But the bigger titles that have like,
I mean, some of the biggest titles aren't exclusive. You know, the biggest game out right now is Fortnite. So anyway, you know, GTA 5 is still one of the biggest games in the world. It's not exclusive to anything.
But they have to compete. I mean, there's a reason why.
Definitely they do, but I don't think if Stadia can't get God of War, it's gonna fail. You know, if Stadia can't get Halo 6, it's not gonna fail.
No, but I'm saying like if they really want to be a competitor and stuff like that. I mean, like my friend, right? She left console and went to PC. And then she had like her time, and now she's talking about how she's gonna come back to console just to play the PlayStation exclusives, like Last of Us 2 and whatever else is out there. She's literally about to rebuy a console. She sold her console for a PC, and she's gonna rebuy it just to play. You know, if you want to have like those dedicated people, you need to have something that can be on par, that can rival those exclusivities.
Sure. That makes sense, but with in terms of the others they have, so like let's say it's a one-time, right? Because you know, when you buy a console, like the PlayStation and Xbox, you still have to pay for online accessibility. So let's say Google Stadia is like, okay, $150 one-time fee Stadia on all your current devices, and then they're like, oh, you also need to pay $10 a month, not to play online with your friends, but to have access to the other features like Air, we could save something posted, or you could be streaming onto Google Stadia with your friends, like all those other little extra features. Would you be okay with if they were to charge you one-time fee, a subscription for those features? But let's say you didn't have that, but you could still play the games online. Like you could still play Call of Duty. You know, would you be okay with them charging an extra $10 for those extra features, or be like, no, everything's wrapped in one? Because Xbox and PlayStation, you buy the console, you have to pay the service to play the consoles online. You know.
I mean, as a content creator, I would very much love to have those extra features that's included in the one-time fee. But as far as everyone else that wouldn't really use them, I mean, I don't know. It's hard because if someone would, I mean, the way that they branded it is for people who are, and for people that might be interested into becoming a content creator and streaming and making videos and sharing what they play. So it would be a great thing to just just have it included in the price. I mean, how many people that buy Stadia $150 don't make their money? I mean, and also they make a cut from the games that they have available. So I would very much like them to have it, but if they don't, they should have what they do with Xbox and PlayStation, a yearly something. I like to do the yearly ones so that you just pay it once and you don't have to think about it for the year, and then, you know, save up, put money aside when it comes again. Or not, then yeah, they could do like $10 a month to have like those features. But at the same time, maybe not, because if you don't pay, then you might lose your content, you know?
But I truly think it'll be somewhere around, like, you know, unless it's a service like Netflix. But if it's a one-time fee, I could see them charging something like around $200 for it, for you to be able to play the game, stream on any device you want, whether it's a TV, phone, tablet, computer, and, you know. But if you want all those extra features, you would pay. I would hope they would have both models. You could buy all the features for annual or a monthly cost. But I think like being able to play online should be, you know, I should be able to play online games such as Fortnite. Because Fortnite would definitely go to Stadia. I don't see why it wouldn't. But if you know, that's depending what it is, it'd go to Stadia. But if it's a launcher, it wouldn't go to Stadia. Fortnite's not on Steam, you know? So it depends. It depends on really what it is. But let's say it's just a console. It should let you play online with your friends. That should be free. And all those extra features, I could trying to make an extra bang for their buck, because it's an expensive product that they're making to be able to constantly streaming. That's expensive, you know. And it's worrisome for the people like, oh, I paid $200 for the, you know, what if something happens on Google side in any of your games? You know, it's very risky, and I hope to see we see them at E3. You know, E3 is coming around. I think June 11th. E3 is coming around, if not earlier. The Google I/O event just passed, and they did not discuss Stadia at all. And their next biggest platform to hear about it would be E3, because it's the biggest gaming convention in the world. So here's hoping we get pricing, we get more games, more licensed games like Overwatch, not Fortnite, but maybe a game like Battlefield 1, you know. Not one Battlefield.
Also like new compelling titles, stuff that can really put people, put the other gaming companies on their feet, like another open world looter shooter type thing, kinda like another Destiny.
You think it should compete in that space already that quickly?
I mean, the way that they were like flaunting like how many players they can have, and people already working on massive open worlds, like why not? Like try to create the true experience. Borderlands 3 is on its way. I really think Stadia should have their own. Like they should have their own, because there's a lot of people at that market.
Sure, but like Xbox just bought a bunch of some of the best ones out there,
True.
and then PlayStation is already, Sony is already tied up with a lot of great ones, and like some of the more independent ones, like Bungie is an independent studio right now. I doubt they'll get bought by Google, once they just finish their project, their partnership with Activision, like who, like let's say this is off topic, but like you're saying Google Stadia should have a next big game of that world shooter, whatever. Who would make it? Who is out there with one of the best studios that's still out to be like, yeah, we'll work with you.
It doesn't have to be. It doesn't have to be a big, well-known studio or whatever. I mean, there's a lot of indie people, smaller teams that can do exactly what's out there right now. For like the talent is out there. So as long as they have the people and those people have the tools and the support, they can make the game. They don't need to have a ginormous studio. The studio just adds on the rep and longevity and such. But if Google finds someone and they do it and they do it well, then that's it. That's what I think, at least.
Okay. I mean, hopefully the talent's out there. Think some studios are talented, but they're really not. BioWare. But before we get to BioWare,
oh my god.
What's it called? Before we get to BioWare, like, okay, so their thing with streaming, and apparently the whole tech industry is like, okay, streaming is the way to go for the future of gaming, because we know Microsoft has been talking about their Project Cloud for the X Cloud or whatever for a good almost a year now, and they seem to be almost done with and they're saying, oh yeah, we don't know if that'll already be part of Xbox Live, if they're going to be charging separately to it. Microsoft is going full steam, like, hey, we're doing the same thing. They technically announced it way before Google did, and with Sony and PlayStation, they have their PlayStation, which is technically a streaming service for games where you could stream games to your PlayStation. But I don't have a PlayStation, so I can't genuinely say if it's good or not. But I've heard reviews saying it's not the best. And if you lose internet for like a second, that thing drops entirely. I haven't heard the best reviews when it's come to streaming on PlayStation. Let's say Google Stadia takes off. Would Microsoft potentially just drop Xbox 2 and PlayStation and Sony's PlayStation 5? Like, hey, streaming is where it's at. Or will the boxes just be streaming boxes? Like, hey, you're gonna buy this box to stream. Like,
yeah,
it's
definitely. Okay, well, I don't think if Stadia does happen, it does take off. I don't think Xbox would. I mean, the smart thing wouldn't be to not try to. Hold on, I'm about to burp. Excuse me. So yeah, the best, like, they wouldn't. If they're smart, they wouldn't cut it. What they would do is that they would just have to provide better features, better pricing, so that there's competition. That's what people love. That's the best thing about the consumer. That's why people don't like exclusivities, like with Netflix and freaking Disney and whatever. They're like buying back all their shows, and no. So what happens is that the market doesn't create better services. So if Xbox were to give up Stadia, even though Google is always talking about getting better, they wouldn't have anything to really force them besides the people, the consumers, and what people give back, and that can get stale over time, if you're not getting enough information. Seeing what the competition is doing in order to improve yourself would be very healthy, and there would be plenty of ways to play games, and I play here for this and that, and better services come out of it. But I feel like Sony would be the last to really get into it, depending on what they're gonna do with PlayStation 5 and what is announced along with it. But as far as like the running, if Stadia does well, they'll be first, Xbox would be second, and PlayStation would be dead last, because they haven't been talking about it. They haven't been revealing anything, and everybody knows that they're not too great on cross-platform play anyway. So it's like, who knows?
Here's a question. Let's say Google Stadia takes off, and they're like, okay, we're gonna make xCloud as great as it can be. Would they not be competing with themselves when it comes to the actual console? Could they be hurting their own sales? To be like, hey, get to X, also buy an Xbox One, an Xbox Scarlet. Like, why would consumer need both? You know, they offer the same things or different.
Well,
Let's say the Xbox is great, it's cheap. Like, why would I buy an Xbox?
I think they would bundle the service along with the console. So like the console would be the medium, and then you could just like the way that they show it, like you would be playing your game on your console, and then you would move to your computer, and then you would move if you have to go out, you would move to your phone. Stadia is just your computer would be like your main source, and then you could move to your tablet to your phone. The console would be the medium, just like how the PC is.
All right, I do like that. Hopefully, they do it like it's like the console and the xCloud are together, and not two different products competing with one another. That I would like. Hopefully, Microsoft doesn't mess that up. Because sometimes companies, you know, they do dumb stuff. Speaking of dumb stuff companies do, talk to me about Anthem. What is going on with BioWare? What are they doing over there?
Okay, so BioWare has done not well with Anthem. They just released a new patch update. I don't know the exact patch number because, you know, it doesn't really matter. What I mean is like they released a new patch recently. It was a small patch to fix some bugs, and instead of fixing some bugs, it brought some bugs with it. It's now been reported that there's no loot coming from Titans, Ancient Titans, which is one of the main creatures to drop major loot. And it also started affecting the other creatures in the in Anthem, like the Ur-6s and also in the major content in the strongholds and such like that. So that kind of sucks. BioWare is always, you know, releasing something, and then instead of properly testing it to make sure that it's okay to be sent out, they don't do it, and then people are looking at them like they're incompetent. They don't know what they're doing. They're just there. And now, but surprisingly enough, no matter how many people say that Anthem is dying, it's not getting support, people are leaving, EA announced that they are supporting Anthem. It's one of the most unique IPs that they have, and they're sticking with it for the long run. But at the same time, they said the same thing for Andromeda, and then 6 months later they dropped that, and then you know, whatever. But you know,
all right, like, go ahead, finish. Sorry, finish.
I was just trying to say, like, you know, the story is very mixed. Like when you look at it, it looks really bad. Like there's just nothing. You just look at it, there's just nothing that you can do to really fix it because they don't even know how to fix it themselves. But at the same time, they're getting support, quote unquote, and then they're also hiring new people to fix loot and add new biomes, whatever else that they're adding to the game, like all these new hires to try and fix the game. And then they cycled out the old producers,
Mike Gamble
and Mark Darrah. And because, you know, Mike Gamble and Mark Darrah, they mostly work on the single player RPG elements that they usually done. So they cycle them out and try to get people that actually knows how to work on a MMO looter shooter online service game. So I mean, I don't really know anymore.
All right. I when it comes to Anthem, this might sound mean, but BioWare seems dumb as shit. Like I don't know what they're doing. Like they really do seem incompetent. Like okay, so like they just entered this open world shoot lights MMORPG action space, but like this is not the first game in that. Destiny was released in 2014. We are in 2019.
Yeah, but that was the whole thing. That was the whole thing with the Kotaku article. Like they didn't look at them. They didn't learn from them because they were like, "Oh, we're not them. We're Anthem. We're different."
Well, exactly. When it comes to stuff like that, it's like, you guys are dumb. Of course, you would make the dumbest mistakes by not paying attention to your competitors. You were just saying how competent the best out of companies and be best for the consumers, but they literally they were like, "No, we're not gonna do that. We're not gonna learn from anything," which is ridiculous. Because
they didn't even know what Anthem was gonna be, you know.
Which
so
is also another problem. Like honestly, like
I feel like
every time I think of Anthem, they're dumb. Like honestly, they're dumb. They don't know. Like how are you gonna put out another bug? Every time they put a patch, there's bugs.
Yeah.
They bring more bugs that weren't in the game, or they bring bugs that were in their base in the game when the first game launched, and they fixed it. Then back. Like, what are they doing? What are they doing? Like, EA says they're going to support them. And hey, you know what? Anthem wasn't the first when it first launched. Look at No Man's Sky. Fortnite wasn't even a big game when it first came. That little four-player co-op PvE stuff. It wasn't big. It got big later on. Destiny. Everybody knows the story of Destiny. I mean, Destiny was popular, but it came out rocky. But like, I don't know. Anthem is different. Like, Destiny was new. People were ready to grow with that industry and how that world, the types of game exist. But now, like, hey guys, we've been doing this for a while. Like, I honestly don't understand.
They try. I mean, in comparison to the other titles, you know, like BioWare has other things to work on, and they're just not. It just seems like they're not really putting 100% in Anthem. I mean, who knows what they're doing right now? And we have until E3 because it has been confirmed that they are going to be at E3. They have a panel, so we're gonna see. Hopefully, they have something to show to really change everybody's mind, but right now it just doesn't look.
I think they're gonna be the laughing stock of E3. Honestly, I really do. I think they're gonna be a laughing stock. They're gonna be like, "Hey guys, we've added a stat screen," and they're like, "Okay, and something that should have been in the game. That should have been the first piece you made in an open world RPG." Like, that's honestly what they're gonna do. They're like, "Guys, we've added stat screen. Hey guys, you can also put a waypoint in the map." And we've been asking for that since. That's common sense. Get your game sense up, BioWare. That's common sense, you know. They're gonna say
it would have to be
the
big.
dumbest stuff.
They would have to.
Like, they might have a couple little content things, but honestly, they're gonna be a joke. I really can feel it. They're gonna be a joke when it comes to E3. But EA said they're gonna support it. They still gave them plenty of time, and they failed. So now that the game is launched, and now they're spending money to keep it up, and it's not, that money's not coming playing it, then I'm selling microtransactions. If you were EA, how much time would you give BioWare? Would you be like, "Hey guys, you have to turn this game around, bring back your player base"? And I don't see why EA wouldn't drop and if they aren't coming back. All right, the question is, how much time do you give Anthem to bring the game back?
Well, I would say I would give them another 6 months, but the thing is, EA already gave Anthem, you know, their quota. Recently, the earnings, the reported earnings for each game of all the industries, it came out, and EA, instead of saying what did Anthem make, they did this whole statement talking about it has this 150 million players registered, like, you know, like, or hours played. Oh yeah, it was hours played, instead of saying what the earnings were. And EA said that they wanted Anthem to make 6 million, I believe. So
they said like 6 million copies sold in 6 weeks.
Right. So
and that
didn't happen. And the microtransactions that are in Anthem are not making a lot of money either. So they've already hit, you know, each and every wall. They hit the 7-year wall. They hit the this many copies sold wall. They hit the microtransaction wall. So I feel like EA is saying that, oh yeah, we're supporting them. But in reality, what they're saying, if you guys don't do something, and like, they have one more chance. Oh, I hit my microphone. They have one more chance, and I think it's gonna be another 6 months. The rest of 2019 and a little bit of 2020. If they can't get the players back, Anthem is done, and they're probably just gonna either drop the entire title, or they're gonna try again for Anthem 2, because EA wants a game like this. EA really wants a looter shooter to rival The Division and to rival Destiny. They're not gonna really give up on it. They really want this because they know it's a money maker. That's probably what they're telling their investors, that, oh, like, these things happen all the time. No Man's Sky, The Division, blah, 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 Warframe. They all start off really, really bad. You know, we're going to lose money before we make it, which is something that's possibly really, really hard to sell. But I feel like that's what they're doing because they do want this. They do want an IP like this in their lineup. So if Anthem fails, they're going to try again. So if 6 months they don't get the players back, they probably will just end it, like close the servers, and then try again for Anthem 2 and really, really make sure that it's a better product, which would be better for like everybody. But yeah, so they have E3 to try and do that. If they don't, then well,
All right. So what would be the one thing at E3 that's coming this June? Would be like that's gonna save it. Personally, for me, if they buy with like 3 new enemy types, what do you think would be what's gonna save Anthem? What's the one big thing?
the one big thing that would save Anthem. That's a good question.
I mean,
there's many things. There's many things that can save Anthem. So for me, I would say new areas, new weapons.
Okay.
And
finish.
Yeah, so new areas, new weapons, the new enemy, maybe, and the announcement of Act 2 is starting. I think they should push. Oh shoot! I even talk about. Well, I was thinking about like Cataclysm and stuff like that, but we know that we're not gonna get that for a long time.
What if they announce it? That could be an announcement.
If they announce Cataclysms, they have to show it. They have to show Cataclysm gameplay. Because
they have to.
Yeah. Because the thing is, Cataclysm is great because we don't know what it is. They say that it's like it's a raid and aspirational content that doesn't mean literally nothing. So, and then they talk about how when you do it, it's going to change the environment. I don't care about that. You could change the environment 100 times over. We need other places to go. We need new environments. We need a lot more newer and better weapons. So yeah. So new areas, newer and better weapons, Cataclysms. That would do it by this year. If not,
so you think they should add I don't think they would. I would love that, but they're not gonna. And if they're gonna do it for free, I don't know about all that.
Biomes?
I think like a new area. You said a new area, like a biome, a different
they wouldn't
location.
Do it.
I think if they were to do it, they would only do.
They only do one.
Yeah, I think they would do one new. Because this is obviously Bioware can't handle, and I don't think they just have to.
They should be able to do at least 2 or 3 because they had a biome in the game and they removed it.
They should, but they won't because they're dumb. Honestly, Bioware has to earn our faith again. They do. Right now, they got nothing. They got.
I really hope, at least from this, more people and more people would, get the common sense, get the game sense, and also be able to share that information with people who don't know, to not pre-order, to wait for reviews, to wait for games to be earned. That's something that's just not being set in the minds of gamers. They need to know to wait and to make sure that the people, the companies that they're giving the money to, that it's earned. It's a great game. It's a good game, and that's it. That's the only thing that should matter. It doesn't matter if you get the game and then, I like it. Liking it, no. You need to be able to love that game, I think, right?
All right, so speaking of money, let's say, do you realistically think everything you just said, let's say everything you just said was coming to the game for real, you think it should be for free?
Yes.
Or they should charge you
No. If they charge people, they're out of their minds. $60 is not cheap. And then they already said, they promised it's for free. All updates is free.
They also said, hey, we have a cancel that.
It doesn't matter. They could cancel every rollback they put online. It has to be free. If not, that's fraud. That's false marketing, and I will sue. I will come for them.
You want to? Alright, guys. And I kind of hope they make it to Alex V.
the first person to sue. Yes. I mean, people are looking into it. To see how far, because the thing is, nobody can really sue because the roadmap is like a cover up. So if they don't fulfill those promises, then you have room to sue. So until they bring back the roadmap, No, not even then. They have a certain amount of time. If they never bring back that warm-up, then that's false advertising. You know, it was all lies. So then you have room to sue. It just depends on when. So you really have to like choose it, but that's irrelevant really. But yeah, they have to fulfill those promises. Because it's not just them, it's also EA. And EA is like, they're being lenient right now, but they will put their fist down soon. I think so.
Oh, God.
All right.
Oh, God.
All right, guys. So that's the end of the episode, but the conversation is not done yet. It continues in the comments. Do you think Anthem will survive or die this year? And what do you guys think of the pricing of Stadia? Will it be a one-time fee, subscription fee, or will it just be for free like a launcher? If you enjoyed listening, be sure to like, subscribe, and join in the discussion. And guys,
get your game fenced up.